In lesson 1.2, we gave a brief introduction of what is an equation, but let's understand more, especially the concept of the equal sign inside of an equation. Let's take a look at the algebraic equation we have on a screen. We know it's an algebraic equation first because it has variables, and second because it has an equal sign. So this is an equation. The important thing about any equation is the resultant value on both sides of this equal sign must be equal. So no matter what value we have for x and for y, the left side of this equation must be the same as the right side of this equation. And this is a very important rule. This is the golden rule of algebra. Whatever we have on one side of the equal sign must be the same as whatever we have on the other side of the equal sign. It's a golden rule. We must never forget it. So, what does this mean? How can we put this into context? Well, for that, let's replace the x for a number. Let's replace it for any number. Before we replace it for any number, let's understand that in algebra, when a number is next to a letter, like in this case, 3x, it means a multiplication. 3x is the same as 3 times x. Every single time in algebra we see a number next to a letter like this, is a multiplication. So let's replace that x for a 5. This will be 3 times 5, which is 15, and 15 plus 10 is 25. So the left side of this equation, when we replace x for a 5, we got a 15. We still have the equal sign, and that equal sign is forcing us to have the same value on both sides of the equation. What this means is whatever value we replace y for must maintain the equality, must keep the right side equal to the left side. So whatever value we take for y must make the right side equal to 25, because we already know the left side is 25. One more time, let's get the remainder. 4y is the same as 4 times y. Every single time in algebra there is a number next to a letter, that's a multiplication. So if we replace y, for example, for 8, we're going to get 4 times 8, which is 32, minus 7 is 25. So these are the values that will make this equation true. X equals 5, y equals 8, because both sides of the equation are equal. Of course, we're going to learn techniques to solve this. At the moment, we are just looking at the answers, replacing the x and y for the numbers we know are going to be true. For the moment, for this lesson, we're just focused on learning what an equation is. Further in this unit and in this lesson, in this course, we're going to learn more techniques to find those values of x and y or any variable that we have in an equation. For the moment, let's put this with another example so we understand a bit further about the behavior of equations. We have another equation here, 24 minus 3x equals 8y minus 34. Remember, both sides of this equation must be equal. That's what the equal sign is telling us. They have to be balanced. We have to have the same on the left and the same on the right. Let's start replacing the x for a number. Let's use any number, but one more time, it's very important we remember this every single time in algebra. 3x is the same as 3 times x. Number next to a variable is a multiplication. So let's replace that for a 6. That'll be 3 times 6 is 18. 24 minus 18, that gives us 6. We have the left side equals 6. We have the equal sign, which is forcing us to have the same value on both sides. So if we must have the same value, it means whatever number this y is representing must have the right side equal to 6. One more time, 8y is 8 times y. Yes, this is another reminder of this because it tends to be forgotten, especially when we get to harder topics. 8y is 8 times y. A number with a letter, a number with a variable next to each other in algebra, that's a multiplication. If we replace the y for a 5, it would be 8 times 5, which is 40. 40 minus 34 equals 6. And this equation is true now because both sides of the equation are equal to each other. For more math lessons like this one, visit our website, mathusermanual.com, or follow us on Instagram at mathusermanual.